Hello, this is Nidra Moore with Creations Galore and More, and today we'll be going through our MooreCake Kits, which is our monthly subscription box that is for our junior bakers. So this month we will be decorating Valentine's Day cookies. So let's take a look inside. So inside our box we have all of the ingredients that you'll be needing, all of the dry ingredients, and we even have thrown in some extra neat little tools for you to use. What you will need from home will be your butter, an egg, and your flavor of choice. So let's get started. You do not need a stand mixer to complete this recipe. However, it would be helpful, and just always keep in mind that please make sure that you have an adult to accompany you when using any type of kitchen equipment, such as a stand mixer or even a hand mixer. Your flour, you will have your unsalted butter, your sugar, your egg, and your salt. And of course, we can't leave out the flavoring. That's like the best part. But you can use any flavoring you like. You could use butter flavor. You could do vanilla. You could do lemon. Get started. You always want to make sure that you sit out your butter and your egg so that it comes to room temperature. This just makes the butter and the egg incorporate so much better with your ingredients. All right, so let's go ahead and open up our butter. And we're going to place it in the mixer. While our butter is creaming, I just want to say the paddle attachment would be the best attachment for this recipe if you're using a spoon. So during the process of our butter creaming, we want to add in our sugar. So let's pour in our sugar. If you have a spatula at home, this would be a great opportunity to grab one. And we're going to turn our mixer off. And we're just going to scrape down the bowl. We just want to make sure that everything gets incorporated. Once everything is scraped down, we're just going to turn it back on. You're going to open up your packet of salt. And you're just going to pour it in with your flour. Crack our eggs. Let's turn our mixer down, all the way down, and we're going to pour in that one egg. We're going to make sure that it's nice and incorporated. Take time to scrape the sides of the bowl back down if needed. We want to make sure all those ingredients are being incorporated really, really well. Okay, our 2 minutes are up. This is the consistency we should be at right now. So now we're going to take time to add in our flavor. So again, we're using vanilla flavor, and we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavor. Add our flour, okay? But once we add our flour, we're not going to overmix it. We're literally just going to let it turn enough to where the flour is completely incorporated, and then we're going to turn it off from there. So let's start adding it in. Have a parent to help you. Okay. Flour, it looks kind of crumbly. From here, we are going to lift our paddle and we'll take all of our dough off. Okay. And from here, we just do it by hand. Just continue to work it until you put it in a ball, and then we are going to place it on some saran wrap. We're going to pull out our saran wrap. Alright, and we're just going to put it on there, and then we're just going to wrap it up. Place this in the refrigerator for 1 to 2 hours. I've let my dough sit in the refrigerator for about an hour, and so it's not soft, but it's like really firm where you can put your fingerprint in there and it stays just nice and firm. So we're going to go ahead and unwrap it. A little bit of flour, I mean very little. You just want to have just enough. That's if your surface sticks. So yours may not stick, but if it does, just add just a little small powdery coating. And then you're going to take your roller that we provided in your package. Roll it out. So right now it's at this thickness, but you want it a little bit thinner than that. And make sure, a lot of times when you're rolling out your dough, it will stay kind of thick here and thin out on the edges, but you want to make sure that it's just as even as you possibly can get it, okay? Let me show you the thickness. So it's a little bit thinner. All right. And then we're going to take one of these cute little cookie cutters here. You can use any shape that you have. I think we provided 3 in your box. So you want to press it all the way down, and then and there you go. You have your cookies cut out. You can get a small little sheet pan and put some parchment paper on here, and then you're just going to lay your cookies on there. And the fun part about this is when you're finished, you can just re-knead it. That means you're just going to incorporate all of the dough, all those outside edges, back towards the center of the dough. Okay? And if your mat starts to stick, you can do this on your tabletop. You don't have to use a mat. And then you'll start that process all over again. And you'll just roll your dough out. And when you get it to the thinness that you like, then you'll go ahead and cut your cookies out and put them on your tray. The great thing about this dough is that you don't have to use it all right now. If you only want to make a few of the cookies, you can. And if you have any excess, you can roll it back up and then wrap it in your saran wrap, and you can put it in your refrigerator if you plan to keep it, if you plan to use it pretty soon. But if not, then you can just put it in the freezer and it'll last for a couple. Now that our cookies are on the pan, we're going to place it in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes to chew. All right, 15 minutes has passed. They're nice and firm. Now we're going to place them in the oven at 360 degrees for about 8 minutes, or until they start to brown a little bit on the sure to get a parent to assist you with the oven. Now that our cookies are out of the oven and have cooled down, I'm going to bring the cookie closer just so you can take a look, so you can see how it looks and how you know it's done. So they just barely start to brown around the edges, but these cookies are done. Aren't they cute? And what I love about our dough recipe is that the cookies keep their shape. They do not spread. Inside of your box, you should have 3 different colors of fondant. I love this pink. I really wish the camera could capture the color, but it's so bright and pretty. And then we have a soft pink, and then we have like a really deep. Also for this step, let's grab our cookie cutters that we use, the same ones that we use to cut the cookies. To prepare our fondant, it's probably pretty stiff. If it's too stiff to roll out, we're just going to take it out of the pack, and we're going to place it on a plate or a dish, and then we're going to put it in the microwave for maybe like 5 seconds at a time. Be sure not to overheat it. It's important to get an adult to help you if needed, just to make sure that you do not overheat it. Again, I would only place it in the microwave maybe 5 seconds at a time. Now that it's out of the microwave, let me show you how soft it is. See, it's really, really soft. So then we're just going to put it on the countertop, and we're going to knead it. So just the same way we did the cookie dough, you're just going to take the outer edges and fold them inward, just like so. Okay, and you don't want to over knead it. You just want to make sure that it's nice and smooth. And then you're going to take your roller that came in your pack, and you're going to roll this out pretty thin. You want to roll it maybe a little bit thinner than you did your cookies. And if your tabletop gets a little sticky, you can add a little shortening or spray, a little cooking spray like Pam on here. Or you can even sprinkle, if you have a little cornstarch, you can sprinkle a little cornstarch or powdered sugar. Whatever you have on hand is fine. And you just want to do very, very, very little, just to keep it from sticking. Okay, so let me show you the thickness that I have. But I think I want mine just a little bit thinner. So we're going to roll this out. Okay, and then we'll take our cookie cutter. Look how. Also, if your fondant appears to be a little bit sticky, then just put a little shortening or some cooking spray on your hands, or again, if you just want to use some cornstarch or powdered sugar, and it just keeps it from sticking to your hands. But like I say, you only need very, very little. Definitely take time to clean your surface as you're moving on to the next color, just so that you won't have color bleed from one color to the other. Now that we have all of our toppers cut out for our cookies, take your bag of buttercream that came in your box, and we're gonna clip the very just like so. And we're just gonna make sure you massage it a little bit. And then we're gonna pick up our cookie, and you're just gonna add just a little icing, just like that. And then you can take, either if you have a spatula at home or a small little butter knife, like a plastic one that your parents will allow you to use, and you can just spread it out. And you don't want to pile it on too thick. You just want enough so that the fondant topper will adhere to the cookie. And then we're going to pick up our cookie, our topper for our cookie, and then we're going to place it on there. How cute is that? Okay, let's do the other two. Now, if you have any buttercream that seeps on the outside of the cookie, just take your finger and clean that off. Now, these cookies are so cute. I had so much fun making these, and I hope you do too. Thank you guys again for tuning in and allowing us into your home to bake with your junior bakers. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so that you won't miss any new videos and updates that we have.